Okay. Lots happens really quick. You know how that is. Um, and this is just one day worth of stuff. What ended up happening here is we all got a message from Apollo, basically telling us that we needed to try and cast a spell to acquire some information on something called the uh, the thorns of Pluto. These thorns apparently are extremely powerful, and if they're labeled Pluto, to me that implies they have some sort of hiding ability, but it may just mean that they're very powerful. At any rate, we were trying to find information on that. So I cast a spell, and I retrieved these. I retrieved these pieces of paperwork. So, obviously, official, right? So apparently Arnold is having trouble with his presidency, and this is something that's been ongoing. Continued struggles for power within the leadership roles. You know how that is. Nobody wants to concede power to one another. House, Senate, President. Everybody's fighting over something. Anyways, and basically he asked that I guess things must be getting desperate for him. A little bit more desperate than we're knowledgeable about, apparently. And he blamed everything on the god of dreams incarnation. He openly named him and said that it was his fault. Here, I'll read it to you. So, you know. I really need your help. I'm prepared to provide you anything you want. They did this to me. That dreams incarnation. He must have done this. I know I would have won if not for him. I know you were right. I can do whatever you need. Okay. So that's what first came, and then came this letter from the World Church. Okay? World Church. We want the crown. We need the thorns. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's really long. Basically, he's willing to do some vague task for the president, Arnold. In the World Church, this is Archbishop Nicholas, who's willing to do something for him. And in this scenario, it is to kill his opposition. But he wants that crown of thorns. And so it's also called the crown of Pluto, or Pluto's thorns, something like that. We know Pluto to be very dangerous because at one point he had possession of a hood and could hide his actions from the gods. So anything revolving around him is very serious to us. Okay, so that's that right now. We don't know anything else. We just know that there's a high possibility that the crown is now in the hands of the Archbishop of the World Church. It's a much higher possibility. And we were just trying to find out if it was, but apparently there's no information out there directly indicating it. So we're screwed there unless we can get it from him. Okay. Now, in the meantime, actually prior to us getting these letters, but I'm separating these up into two different scenarios because they're really two events. Now, another event took place at the same time. Owen, if everybody kind of knows, is our new in-house guy assigned to us from the ferries for 2 years. I guess he's a colonel who is now going to be running missions for us. We sent him on a mission last night, and we were just kind of waiting for him to get back. And the mission was to go look into France. In France, Paris, France, in the catacombs, there was supposed to be an item we've been looking for a while, the Tablet of Destinies. Something that was brought to our attention by Dreams Incarnation. Apparently, he read about it in a book that his spiritual side manifested for him. So, more power work, right? Anyways, the situation indicated that it was in France. Now, see, what was happening is we were trying to figure things out. we were trying to figure out where this prehistorical item was. And the reason why it was so hard to find for us is because it was written, the directions to find this hidden treasure was written in a time when the continents had not drifted apart. So we were able to get a map of the continents, which actually happened to be Archbishop Nicholas's version of the map. And we stole it from him. It didn't quite come all intact. It must be because it's from a different continent, and having to pull something from one continent to ours burnt the paper a little bit. At any rate, it was enough information to get a bearing of where the item should be in the modern world, and it was in France. Paris, France, in the catacombs. I think it was Catacomb 5? I don't know, they call these rows 5. I don't know what they were. At any rate, it was there, and so we wanted to see if it was still there before we tried to waste powers to go retrieve it and pull it here, because to do that would take a lot of powers, if not us having to fly, go to France. I don't want to travel to France right now. It's a nightmare doing traveling right now. And so we sent Owen there. He went there, found nothing except for a soldier's helmet, an American soldier's helmet that resembled the Allied helmet from the World Wars. So he sent us a message back via the postman. So it Postmaster Jim. We're assuming. We weren't quite sure. It was in Postmaster Jim's mailbox thing, so we're assuming it's from him. Basically telling us there's nothing there. What do you want me to do? And I will return if I don't hear from you within 2 days. That just implies to me I need to give him more direction in regards to the orders. I don't just send him there, okay, go do it, and then expect him just to come back. If he doesn't find something, maybe next time I'll stipulate, okay, if you don't find anything, just come back. Don't hang out in France. So we didn't have anything to go on. We felt a little bit lost in regards to this tablet of destinies. Until we ended up talking with Bast, and Bast basically said to us that, you know what, I am really having issues here. She's having trouble connecting with her Godhead ever since the separation because of, future tech, right? That whole thing. All right. So anyways, she's having trouble with her Godhead connecting and can't do as much research as she said. So she put the Mother Goddess's incarnation to doing some research. And it boiled down to that we found out through the research, we were suggested to look into an elite force that works in America. They're an elite. It's not like the Navy SEALs, but these are like ground infantry, not like Navy. You know what I mean? Ground infantry, elite force that works, and they're supposed to be like the elite guard of the president and stuff. Kind of like the Queen's Guard and maybe the World Bank's elite guard. Whatever, not World Bank, World Church's elite guard. Anyways, they are in charge of guarding certain memorials and certain government buildings. Happens to be one of these government buildings is a sort of memorial, it's just a government building that was founded during the World Wars. And it has items in it pertaining to World War I. But those items happen to come from, you guessed it, France. So the correlation is close enough to us that we're going to now let Bast know this is what we came up with. This is what we found through research. It took a couple hours. And we figured out that there is a place in America where they're housing things from France, that came from France. And it is this elite guard type thing, or elite military force that protects it. So now we're off to try to figure out what Bast has to say on that. So this is the update so far, and hopefully this gets everybody kind of clear on what's happening up until this point, aside from the fact that, we do our everyday stuff too.